divine masculines go through a journey where they have to learn how to accept their emotions in a way that logic cannot explain them. Their deeply magnetic pull towards their divine feminine, the insatiable desire that they experience, they reach a point where they will understand that it is divinely designed in this way, okay? But that's a process they need to go through, and they will. Divine feminine, you are not just supposed to dim your light. If you think your divine masculine is going to be triggered, the next thing you do or say or whatever it is, on your own journey, okay? Because whatever this is that's coming through, it feels like you're in a separation, okay? And you're not supposed to dim your light in fear that they're just going to act in a way that's even more, causes even more distance, more of that avoidance, you know? Because, you know, you are not their competition, you are not their enemy. And this is something that they will have to realize themselves, that in fact you are their mirror. You actually reflect to them the ways in which they are their own competition, their own enemy. You do that by stepping into your light, because your whole purpose is not only just to step into it in a way where, you know, putting yourself out there in certain ways that you think you need to, but truly going into a space within yourself where you find it, you begin to embody it, and you just experience yourself living in that essence. You are embodied in that light. You are a walking example of divine. This is how you'll begin to understand what your purpose is. It'll begin to unravel for you, right? You might want to kind of wait for your divine masculine to see your worth. You know, try to prove it to them maybe, or just there's something inside you that just can't seem to understand why they're not responding to you, you know? But the whole point is not you waiting for them. Because don't forget, just in the way you reflect to them, they're reflecting to you all in the ways in which you have suppressed, quietened, and really dimmed your own light, your own true expression, from finding that within you and putting it out there, which is the whole purpose that you are here for, truly. Because believe me, they will see your worth eventually, but it's not for you to wait at all. They will see it, and they will hit them like a speed train, like a ton of bricks, because their awakening is very different to divine feminines, okay? And they will eventually realize, my God, that has been the light all along. She is the light all along. Which is why you need to embody it, right? Not for them, for yourself. Really important, this message is. This is for you. Because at that point is when they will have to then start to work through self-forgiveness, blame, shame, guilt, remorse, regret. All of the feelings are just not nice. They have done everything to block behind the surface, right? To bury on top of, avoid, ignore, whether they realize they were doing it or not. They were trying to forget. You know, they've been through their own pain. Okay, not excusing yours at all. You have been through yours, and this is one of the reasons why it's so important for you to see your worth, and know what you are deserving of, that you are actually the one who gets to say, I am worthy. I do not need proof from anyone, but if you do feel like that, this is your time to ask yourself, what is the reason within you that is making you think you need to attach to someone else's validation for you, or waiting for them to give you approval, some kind of approval of your feelings, your emotion. You're validating you and your experiences. You have to ask yourself the reasons, truly, because this message is for someone who is so needed to be in the world. So needed for you to recognize what your beautiful purpose is, your divine purpose, which comes from, like I say, embodying that light, not just saying the right things and being in the right place and wearing the right clothes. It's none of that. It truly is about what's happening within you. This is where the true experience takes place. Your connection is very spiritual. When your divine masculine reaches that point where they have that awakening, they see you, it's going to come because you are finally in a space where you are able to hold the space of compassion, right? Compassion. Because you're not attaching anything to them or needing anything from them anymore, right? Compassion because you know your worth, you know your boundaries. Divine is aware, they can tell that you are not going to fall back into losing yourself, is what I'm hearing specifically. So that's coming through for a reason. Because you hold yourself together regardless of where they're at on their journey. Okay. And even when that point does come, you will be at a space where maybe you'll get some triggers, because this is cyclic. It's cyclic. You have to go through it cyclically. It's not just suddenly you're perfect. It doesn't work like that. It's cyclic. You're beautiful mirrors to each other, truly. When you really begin to recognize a miracle of even you existing in the same time, in the same space, meeting each other, having the experience that you've had, though yes, it felt destructive at a certain point. You know, I'm talking about inner destructions. I'm talking about abusive relationships, not at all. The layers of you, as you have shed them with so much love, you begin to recognize that, my God, what a miracle is it that you are on the divine journey, that you are in this position, right? So your divine masculine goes through a very different journey to you. And their journey is so rooted in recognizing the external pulls, the external, everything outside of them, the 3D. Love, sex, money, food, greed, all mixed together in a way. But actually that love that I mentioned, it's blocked off. The heart is blocked off. So they need to clear through those lower 3 chakras I always talk about and begin to understand themselves, because this is a journey for them too. And yes, you see them, you saw them at the beginning, you saw what you could be at the beginning, right? But it's not for you to attach to that in hopes, in waiting. It's for you to surrender to that and release it, in having full faith that divine, like I say, has been designing this all. And they just need you to go back into yourself so that you can be here to fulfill your purpose, your mission, because you're needed here too, not just for your divine masculine. Your purpose is so much more. It's so much more beautiful. And when you do come together into that beautiful sacred union, you'll be at a space where you can truly hold it down, anchor it down. And I keep hearing that, without losing yourself. You're not going to lose yourself. You're already one. It's about coming back into that, understanding that, feeling that, seeing through the illusions, because my God, the veil will lift. For you, it lifts in a way very different to them when things come crashing down and they begin to see things differently. A reminder also that the closer you come to physical union, the more you will have different layers coming your way, different shadows, some things coming back up, to see whether or not you are being able to observe that now and not spiral downwards into the tunnel, the dark tunnel. But this time, because you've done that before, this time you can recognize what's happening straight away. It might even be other masculine energies that come your way, so you can see how you're connecting with masculine energy. Because when your divine masculine energy comes in, your divine masculine is in their divinity. They're working on embodying their divine self, just as you're working on embodying your divine self too, right? So you'll be able to see, hold on, where is that pull still coming from? Why is it that attachment suddenly come? You know, it could be the most random thing, right? And if it's not that, there's different things that had prevented you from finding that frequency of alignment with each other that will come through to see whether or not you're ready. And it maybe even is your divine masculine in their own way. Because don't forget, before they physically present, they will come through strongly in their energy field. Both of you experience this with each other. And even those triggers, pulls, whatever it is, you might even experience a suddenly silence from them or something. Silence, in a way, it's hard to explain, because, you know, if you're not physically in contact with each other, you'll have your own ways and your own little journeys to recognize them. And so they'll test you. You know, are you suddenly attaching to them? Are you suddenly freaking out? Where have they gone or whatever? Or are you saying, hold on, come back into myself. I'm choosing love over fear. I'm choosing divine faith, right? Versus all of the things that you have been working beautifully on, unraveling yourself from, healing through, clearing through, you know. And that word healing is used in such a way these days. It's not just, yes, healing is lifelong, but it's about clearing through each layer. You have a very specific and unique mission here, okay? And only you will understand that. It's important to remember that divine masculine, whenever they reach a point where they can look at themselves in the mirror and hold accountability for every decision that they have made, every person they've chosen to be along the way, how they treat themselves, how they treat other people, and how they treat you. These are deep realizations for them, you know. But the beauty of detaching is that you give them the room to do that. Not with expectation, expect them to show up at your door, whatever it is. No, with a self-reflective lens, okay? Where you get to say no, but then I get to call that back to me. You know your person is there, is right, you know. This is where your divine faith comes in so much, you know, connect with the divine. It's so important, especially you divine feminine, that you do that, you know. And this is how you will restore your faith in your journey, because like I say, you have a very unique soul blueprint. Not for everybody. This is your journey, right? And no one can really tell you what is or isn't, so it's up to you how you choose to see yourself, how you choose to see what's happening around you, your person, who you think your person is, whatever it is. Okay? This is where you have to reclaim your power and embody that light. And that's where you need to see what that light is. I'm just going to get you one card to see if there's anything specific here. Okay, 2 cards. Okay, 7 days. So Leo sign and Cancer sign energies could be important. So within the next 7 to 14 days, unraveling over as this year closes out, that this is the cycles as well. This is the cycle you're clearing. So whatever it is that's coming up right now. And this is also about holding faith in your divine masculine. Not with expectation of who they should be or whatever, just holding faith that they're doing their journey in their way. And holding such faith that they will know exactly when to take action. You trust them. No, I'm talking about in the physical, because clearly if you've been through some stuff, they need to show up and prove that their actions match their words, that their feelings, their mindset, and everything is in alignment, right? What I'm talking about, like I say, it's a very spiritual connection, right? This is why you need to be able to discern when you are overly investing in what isn't happening in your reality, and also when your physical reality isn't the full picture, right? You have to be so specific with this. Treat yourself like you're worthy. That's when you'll understand. See yourself as worthy. That's when you understand what is and isn't for you. Even if it is supposedly your person. How are they showing up, okay? Just going to get another one. Clearly, you wanted more than just one to come through. Oh my God, fire sign again. So Sagittarius, Leo, Cancer on the table. So within 7 to 14 days, within 14 to 30 days. And then also, yeah, as the year progresses. It says keep on going. And this is about being purpose-driven as well. The fluidity in the connection is something that you don't need to invest too much of your attention in. What you need to focus on is you. Where are you fluid? Where is it within you that there's a sudden imbalance? Suddenly something out of nowhere comes. And how is it throwing you off? Yeah, sometimes, of course, you do connect. You feel your divine masculine going through what they're going through as well. But I'm talking about allow yourself to see as a mirror. And if you really feel like, you know, it's them or whatever it is, then do your best to cleanse through your energy. Stay in the highest vibration that you can in that moment. Treat yourself like you're the sacred vessel being that you are inside and out. This is what I mean by you're going to be a walking example. You need to be. For anyone and everyone who you are here for, that's your priority. Your purpose. And your sacred union will fit into that just as and when it needs to. Okay, but as this year closes out, is really important. There's a lot going on here. Summer and autumn time are massive. Massive shifts have been taking place. Okay, you keep on going. That's the biggest message here. Just for the purpose of clarity, I'm going to get some tarot to find out about this 7 to 14 days. Okay, that's you coming to balance. The star. Okay, this is you finding your internal balance now, okay? And I'm talking about your path of, maybe abundance is on your mind, but something to do with your purpose is massive. Something you're creating here that other people can come and see, sure, but this is about you creating your fruits of your labor now. I think you might be someone who, maybe you class yourself as a healer. Oh my God, you got the Emperor there behind there as well. So maybe somebody is really, the way you're healing yourself, I don't think you realise, but emotionally, energetically, it's really feeding into your person and helping them to step up too. But that's not your reason for doing it. Your reason for doing it is because your purpose. So within the next 7 to 14 days, something truly coming into balance, especially when it comes to your abundance path and you feeling you are driven by your purpose, okay? Let me just see this 14 to 30 days. And I do think your divine masculine is watching in on you somehow, and they have their ways. Oh, there's a lot going on there. Okay, so you got the moon. I'm going to get another one because that was a bit... The moon. So something is going to be coming into light for you. Something that has been hidden for a while. Yes. Oh my God. The wheel and then the 6 of cups. So, and then justice as well, the magician. Okay, so whatever's coming in for you within the next 14 to 30 days within this month, it's going to really... It's like a whole new chapter of a learning cycle has been closed out. So that the other cards that were there, the world, and it's something to do with something that you have invested in for a long time. So whether it's your personal, just generally the way you connect. So I'm seeing again, maybe it was a parental figure that really gave you that foundation that was really unhealthy attachment, whatever it is that you've been healing through, clearing through, but sometimes it comes through. Maybe you're recently getting examples of that or something, but this is what you're going to be able to come to light and into practice everything you've been learning. Okay, this is your divine justice. And then as it's your close to that, there's something else coming through as it's your close to that. Okay. Okay. I think you're going to be learning about someone's, well, there's a strength card, there's too many cards there. So I think you're going to be learning about someone's, what they've been going through emotionally, the emotional sadness, the depth of their love. Okay. And it's going to allow you to not only plant the new seeds, but also to recognize where you want to lay that true foundation moving forwards. I think whatever it is going to bring an end to something, because it's going to allow you to see things, past, like that high priestess has just come out. Things that haven't been spoken, especially when it comes to emotion. You've got the Ace of Cups there, okay? So something about that is going to come to light. Okay, I'm just going to get another one just to confirm this for you. Yeah, Strength card did want to come out. It's going to give you the courage to finally transition and move on, not live in the past. You can't live in the past versions of you, past timelines of you and your person, whatever it is. Everything that you've been stuck in, maybe whatever happened in the past, they're not that person anymore. And that's another thing that you need to remember. They're not that person anymore. And that's the only version of them that you know. Maybe they are watching in on you. They've seen you grow. You haven't seen them grow and change. So it's so different for you. This is why for you learn to live that with their presence and their energy, you know, because it's always with you. But physically, it's very different. Let's get another one just to give some clarity. I want to make sure that's coming through correctly. Yeah, they've been working behind the scenes on their shadows, and they have been watching in somehow. Queen of Wands, look at you. You're shining in their light, in their eyes, sorry. So that is going to be you embodying that. By the end of this year, you are going to be doing exactly what I'm saying, embodying that like you need to be. Walking, talking example. Truly. No longer thinking about other people, whoever they're investing in. It's not about that. You're past that. Truly, you're past that. Oh my God, and this is a conversation that come in as a result. Oh wow, the Two of Wands, Nine of Cups, the Chariot. No more confusion and confliction because you're clearing it through your head. You have to be in a space where you know your worth, you know your boundaries, you accept nothing less than seeing yourself through the eyes of divine and those who see you so and treat you as so, right? And holding the space and compassion for somebody else to come through with their truth and not hold it against them. Be able to be in a space where you create the safety for your the foundation that you want to lay and the trust for the bond that you want to create moving forwards. Learning from the past, both of you, knowing your truth, everything you've been through. It's going to require your patience, both of you. You know, maybe you have been patient, maybe it's time for them to be patient with you, right? But you're getting there. You're going to be working on your dreams coming true. That's really important because that's so you focus, not just outwardly placing it on them or anyone else. And super quickly for this particular collective, I'm just going to do some message cards from your person to you because something about this is required right now, okay? So number 3 is important. These feelings overwhelm me and I become afraid. Sometimes I even run away from you because of it. Yeah, that's exactly what I've said from the beginning. They have to deal with that. That's their process of awakening through this connection and awakening to their divine self. So they're working through it. They recognize it. They're recognizing that that's what's happening. That's a big step. Don't get me wrong. They need to, you know, that's not just like, oh, amazing. They need to keep going. That's not the be all and end all. That's just one of their steps of many. Number 5. Our energy is stagnant. Triggers sometimes happen to break the stagnancy and help the energy flow again, right? So the triggers so that you don't fall back and get complacent on your journey, right? So You will. That's what I mean by you'll trigger each other. Remind each other, hold on, you're here for a purpose. You know, when it comes through, to hold faith, to keep on going, to remember what you need to be here to embody. Okay. Okay. Final one. Number 8, we incarnated together to clear specific patterns from our ancestral bloodlines. And that's what I meant by about the fact that you even here at the same time, in the same place. You mirror each other, okay? Sometimes you want each other to recognize that. You want each other to recognize that. It's not just about blame. It's about recognizing, hold on, what's this showing within me? Because you're helping each other clear through. That's the beauty of you even being connected in the beautiful divine way that you are. That oneness that you are. Super quickly, I'm just going to get you one of these as well. You clearly need this reminder. Making the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you are guided to take. Exactly. You're going to find a much more light-hearted approach as you move forwards. But right now, you've got to be intentional with this. Truly. Because there is going to be forward movement, especially as this year progresses. You know, and like I say, you cycle. You go through cycles. So it's about becoming intentional with that, recognizing those cycles. You might not realize that your divine masculine is more invested in this journey than they let on. Okay? And that's their way of doing it. Let them. Remember, have faith or trust that it's working the way it needs to. Pay attention to divine guidance. Connect with the divine. Okay? You've got this. Sending love.